Verse 38, and Mary said, here's her response, legendary, amazing. Mary said, behold, I am the servant of the Lord. Let it be to me according to your word. And the angel departed from her. Here's a simple woman from a simple town with a simple faith, but it's a sincere and simple faith. She knows very little. If she is illiterate, she's not been formally educated, she doesn't have the New Testament canon, she has bits and pieces of Scripture that she treasures in her heart. But here's what she has: faith. She believes what God says. So many of us, we have far more information than her and far less faith in it. Some of you think, I need to learn a lot more. Maybe you do. But first things first, believe what you've already been taught. Mary knows very little, but she trusts it all. It's amazing. That's why Martin Luther said rightly that perhaps the greatest miracle is faith. She actually trusts God, takes him at his word. And she responds and says, I'm the Lord's servant. Some of your translations will say handmaiden. That's the lowest servant. She says, whatever he wants, that's what I want. I will serve as he calls. Friends, this is amazing. So many of us have a life charted out for ourselves, and we want God to bless it and make it happen. And if God should rewrite our script, we're not very happy about that. Now, she has a script for her life. I'm going to marry Joseph. It's going to be a great wedding. The dress will actually fit. And then we're going to consummate our marriage. And then we're going to make babies. And everybody's going to think I'm a good person. And nobody's going to call me a tramp or a whore because I will be a virgin. And the angel shows up and says, new script. And Mary says, well, whatever the Lord wants. He gets to write the script for my life. I love him. I trust him. I'm his servant, says the junior high girl. And so we read that, and we may culturally miss what she is willing to give up. It shows that she does not idolize marriage. She does not idolize her identity. She does not idolize comfort and security. She's willing to open her hands and forego all of that and let it be taken from her. There was a provision in the law that actually he could divorce her. It says in Matthew's gospel that he was going to until an angel showed up and told him not to. So what she's saying is, God, if I don't get to marry Joseph, I'm okay with that. How many of you ladies putting together your wedding registry and your invitation list, if God showed up and said, no, you need to let that go. You may never be married and he may divorce you before you even start. You say, I'm totally fine with that. That's not a problem. That was Mary's response. There was also a provision in the law that to make an example of her for all the other young women, they could strip her naked, redress her in rags, abuse her verbally and physically, tie her up in the town center, and call her a whore and leave her there for a good long while so that all the other women would get the idea that being a fornicator or an adulteress is unacceptable. And what she's saying is, God, I'm okay with that. I'll let go of Joseph and my reputation. And see, for the rest of her life, they called her a whore and a slut and a tramp. Jesus, growing up, heard repeatedly, at least we know who our mother is. Another way of stating, your mother slept around so much, you don't even know who your dad is. Mary knows this. Don't you know that my mom was a virgin? Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Tons of pregnant virgins in Nazareth, because this is where God always shows up. Totally. We believe that. See, so Mary is willing to let go of her comfort, her security, her identity, her reputation, her marriage. And she doesn't blink. It's instantaneous. I'm the servant of the Lord, whatever he would have from me.